Hello, hello, hello. Testing, testing. Okay.
I'm really sick with the flu, wearing an adult-sized onesie. So I'm not turning my.
And the big red nose. All right. Well, welcome everyone to our ninth session of the fourth chapter of the Red Star Rising campaign adventure titled The Dreadmist Curse, designed by Gooey Cube and presented by the Brave. See, I did it well the first time, right?
You had it perfect, but the IT guy had to mess with you, of course.
IT always messes it up.
Yeah, I do that. All right, we're going to start again. Take 3. Welcome everyone to our ninth session of the fourth chapter of the Red Star Rising campaign titled The Dreadmist Curse, that is designed by Gooey Cube and presented by the Greater Mulmaster Beholder Corps, where we hope your minds will be opened by wonder tonight. We are a program that's powered by the Tabletop Misfits, and playing tonight, as always, are Zane.
Hi.
And Mark.
Yo.
Lee.
Hey.
The Mighty Trey.
Did we lose Trey?
We lost Trey.
Aye.
Pause for dramatic effect. And Chris.
Yeah.
And I'm Casey, also known as the emissary of the Great Mother and the great delayer of all things gaming. But that is not the case tonight. So I ask you, at my aberrations, shall we begin?
Aye.
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 That sounded more like a question there.
Kitty says, "Aye." Fleegan always says it that way.
Oh, good point.
So, visiting with Father Kenlen seemed, well, off. But with the obvious choice to confront the Brewers, we head onward. Onward!
Mm-hmm.
Previously on the Red Star Rising campaign, what happened? I can't remember. My brain is mush.
Well, we just we had just left the church after talking with the priest and confronting him about the information that we had started to acquire for the Brewers, and we after we left, we were attacked by crocofrogs. So I think that's where we left off, was right after the battle of the Om-Nom-Noms. Yes.
Do they taste like chicken? Did you guys roast them?
They tried to make us taste like chicken. That's yeah.
Smelled like swamp.
Yeah.
And we had just made it to the gnomes after that. Like we had just arrived.
It smelled like really bad scotch. Very peaty.
So, yeah, you guys were heading to the gnomes. If you had already arrived, we're going to retcon just a hair. Don't worry, it's nothing severe. But on your way, it takes a little while to get there, and the fog is beginning to thicken as evening is not far off at this point. The lightning bugs are dancing among the deep shadows of the trees, the edges of the stream that you're rowing through. And all you hear above the drone of the frogs and other creatures of the bog is the gentle slap of Tanner's oars in the water propelling you onward. It is so monotonous that you feel yourself lulling into a sense of calm and ease.
And Fleegan snoring.
And Fleegan is snoring. Good for him. Yep. Another thing is kind of monotonous over there. Yet, it's not long in this state. You are not long in this state when a loud shriek from the trees nearby brings you all immediately to attention, setting your nerves on end. Fleegan wakes up in a start. I need some positive self-reinforcement. I wrote that. GUI didn't write that. I wrote that. Wasn't that good? I thought it was good.
That was wonderful.
Marvelous.
I felt like I had to do something new. Hi, Avery.
It was very nice evening.
So, what do you guys do?
And scan about the area, see what I can spot that might be making that noise.
Kind of just comes from the tree area, somewhat nearby, but
like at ground level or at ground level.
It just really echoes off of the water.
Okay.
It just kind of echoes off of the water across the way, and Tanner, seeing your alarm, chuckles a bit, and then he says, we did not speak of this earlier, though we've heard its call a time or two, and I did not want to alarm you and didn't think we were long for this journey. But yet it seems now it is a good time as any to tell you the tale of the Wakabago.
The Wakahua?
And it's funny because I wrote this, but I just remember that he has a different accent. See, this is the problem being a DM, is that sometimes you forget things.
Sometimes. Not your trust.
Well, it's his southern drawl. I dare say.
I dare say.
It seems to be trailing us.
And
be on
what
guard.
Is it?
For it strikes when you least expect it. What is it, you ask?
Huh?
Let me tell you a tale. Deep in the ages and memories long forgotten, a tale was born of a being who walks this land. Drawing up from the mists, stalks the living as those who seek. It stalks the living as those who would seek vengeance. Many know it's not wise to travel at night in the fog for fear of its awakening, but worse yet, for fear of its taking. For it is said that if one dies by its hand, their spirit is then drawn to the being, or the being is drawn to it. No one knows for sure, but thus they become one. But what we do know is that it's not wise to sleep without shelter and protection within the bog. For the Wakabago is about, and it shall spell that doom. That's what they says. They also says, if you've not taken the life of another in the small, you have not to fear, for there is no grudge from the dead that has joined with the being. But now, since you have, I fear we may not leave this place without having encountered it. So I would say that we have precious time before night to visit the Brewers, and then return to town before it's too late.
All right. So this needs to be done, and we need to get it done quick.
Yep.
Let's carry on.
With that, you guys travel on, and you arrive as it's getting somewhat twilight at this point at the Brewer's place, which I will show you to see when you get there. Y'all see the Brewers place there?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to have y'all roll. Y'all need to roll. Roll a d20. See what we get. The Waka Bagel. They put cream cheese on it.
Whack a bagel.
Kenna, that's not a bad roll, but it's not good enough.
Yeah.
Just add my 3.
There we go. We'll combine them.
Is that how that works?
I
I have a feeling that the mighty Trey is going to roll something really big because he usually does. No, he didn't. He didn't roll really high at all. So we'll see. Let's roll for Theros. I can find Theros. There's Theros. No, Theros didn't roll very well either. So.
No.
Okay. I love being able to do that kind of stuff, right? All right. Where are we? We're at the Brewers place. You guys see that?
Yes.
Aye.
Hey.
What is that?
I'm
With
afraid
what?
to ask.
There's some kind of like weird, almost like grinding sound that kicks on once in a while. You're hearing it, Mark?
I am.
Okay.
I don't hear it.
Huh.
Coming out of the computer?
Yeah, well,
Not me
yeah.
farting over here, is it?
I don't
I
know.
hope not.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe it was me knocking something. Who knows? Fart knocking, you know how it goes. All right.
Is it back now?
What?
Is it back now? Can they hear it?
No?
Nope.
I don't hear anything.
Well, it's not me then.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this location is marked by what appears to be a single-story home on one island, with a walkway crossing to a smaller shack on a second island. Smoke puffs from the chimneys of both structures, and the buildings are made of wood and somewhat dilapidated, but are not as run down as others you have seen in the area. So he rows you over towards there, and then looks for you for instructions.
Are there any signs of life as we approach, like lights or smoke or children playing?
Yeah, so there is smoke coming from the chimneys of both of the buildings, and the lights are on in both of the buildings.
Okay.
And these are
Zane, you missed the story of the Wakabago. Sorry.
these are the gnomes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they had kids.
I don't think so either, but I don't know for sure.
All right.
Is there anything about the two houses that looks more like it's a gnome-sized house than the other one? Are they more or less kind of the same measurements, height-wise, doorway-wise, bill height, etc.?
Yeah, let me tell you about that here. So as you look a little bit closer, you know that the doors to this place have been cut open and rehinged to create a smaller door, about 4 feet high, centered in the larger. And there is a small engraved sign on the door of the larger structure that says False and Flam.
That was the
You go
last
ahead.
name, correct?
Aye.
All right. Can you guys see the
Yep.
map of the house?
Yes.
Yes.
Coming up.
Okay. So. Okay, you guys have arrived at the house. All seems somewhat peaceful. The general noise of the swamp is especially as night is starting to creep on, gets louder. The crickets and the frogs and the other things. So sounds like your typical loud chirping, cicadas, things like that.
There it was again.
Who's doing that? That's good.
I think it's the dock creaking. Is there a reason why Tanner chose this side to pull the boat up to?
Because that's where a boat was on the map, and I figured I'd use it because you guys were in a boat. So.
Aha! Well played.
Sneaky.
I think
Well played, sir. Well played.
I think somebody has one of those plastic ribbed straws and they're pulling it out of their cup.
See, if I move these guys out of the way, there's a boat here.
Yep.
Oh wow, there is.
I think somebody ate Taco Bell.
There's a boat.
So how do we want to handle this? We know that they are associated to the Brewers. Is that correct? Trying to remember the exact.
Yes,
Been a
I
little
think
bit.
we did find out that they.
That's what the father told us, especially.
Yeah. Okay. I thought so. And the plan was, Fleegan, you had talked with them at the bar, correct?
Did.
And so
His friends,
let's have you approach.
because all gnomes know
first.
each other.
Well, no, but
I can scope it out and see what they're up to, and
yeah, and if you
Lure
run into
them
any
out.
problems, let us know, and we'll come in. We'll bust in. So, I assume the bigger one is the one to the north. The bigger of the
Yes.
two. Okay.
so I will go up to the bigger one,
Okay.
and I will knock on the door very
Okay.
politely.
Knock, 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 knock. You hear some just a little commotion inside, and somebody, a female voice, say, "Just a moment, I'll be right there. A little late for people come knocking, but give me a moment, I'll be there." And you hear the sounds of vials clinking, and you kind of detect a pungent smell just kind of lingering in the area. And after just a moment, you hear what sounds like footsteps coming towards the door, and some rattling in the door handle, and the door opens, and you find a elderly-ish female gnome that you had seen at the Sinkhole Tavern there, standing at the door. The visitors. You came to visit. I didn't even know you knew that we were out here. Do you need something made? We do dabble in the alchemy and the things. What brings you out here? I see Tanner brought you. Maybe you had asked him, and he knew that you needed something from us. What is it that can we do for you, fine sir?
When we were back at the bar, you mentioned that I could come out and see the place, and Tanner indeed knows where you're living, so I figured, why not? The town's a little dull right now, and I figured, you guys have got it made out here. I want to see what's going on.
Well, it's just our little humble abode here. Not much to look at, but it's just it's home. It works. I'm glad you've come to visit. Did you want to come in for a spot of tea or?
I would love to. And I don't know very many people who put stuff together and put them in a bottle. Mix it together and makes green colors and purple colors and all kinds of colors. I would love to see how you guys make all that stuff. It's fast. It's really cool.
Well, cool. Yeah. Maybe we can take a look at that. But yeah, if you, I see you, and she looks out the door and sees everybody over there. Um, Everybody's all welcome. We don't have much space, and well, our furniture isn't really made for larger folk. But you can join me over here by the fire if you'd like, and if the others would like to come in. But I can pour up some tea and I don't know. It's very strange that you've come out here to visit. I'm just sorry about my hospitality, but she kind of walks over and starts fumbling around and bustling around with a teapot off of the hearth there, and yeah. What do you
I'm
do?
not sure the big guy's going to be able to fit through the door, but these big guys, you got to watch out for their feet and everything.
Well, that's not hard. You see the latch over there up on the top and on the inside and on the air and everything? If you flip those and turn that latch there and everything, the larger portion of the door will open for the larger folks to come.
Yep. I'll do that. And as it's open, I'm like, wow, you guys are really good at this. Who did this for you?
Oh, we had some help. There's people that around that are good with tools and things like that. So yes. Here's some good tea, and she hustles back over and hands you a steaming mug of kind of a tart smelling tea.
Yeah. Do I recognize the particular tea?
It's probably Tarbian tea. It's from your.
Yeah, I'm not used to seeing other gnomes because usually they're we're on the road all the time, and I got the dwarf, he's a little stinky, and I got the big tug guy, he's a little, I just sometimes it's nice to see somebody in the eyes instead of up their nose. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. I feel like sometimes I'm doing nothing but counting if somebody has grown an extra hair in their nose as it comes out, and over time I just wonder. It's kind of like a little game to me. Just keep that between you. Okay?
Yeah, count the nose hairs. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, nose hair bingo. It's just kind of. I just wonder. Oh, Father Kenlen. Sometimes I sit there. It's like he's got an extra mustache. And when it just comes out. But it's just strange. It's just strange.
Anyhow, do you guys make potions, right? And could
yes.
you make a potion that I don't know, makes a mist and changes her nose hairs, like different colors and stuff? Wouldn't that be fun?
Well, I've never known of anything that would do that. But so colored, people these days are doing all kinds of strange things. They get the markings on their bodies, and they get the piercings in every witch location, even some that are a bit uncomfortable, I would think. But changing nose hair colors, you might have a good idea there about a business venture.
I think
be able to sell it on that.
You could sell it to gnomes.
Portal that people
Yeah.
like to go and hang out on and stuff. But gnomes might. I don't know. But you don't have any hair on top of your head.
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about on top of my head. I mean, you sell to gnomes, and then the only people who would notice the different colors are gnomes. Maybe halflings. But
So she looks out the door, or she looks out the door a little bit while you're talking to her, and kind of looks around. Give me an insight check, please. What are the rest of you doing while all this is going on?
I'm kind of just keeping an eye on the general area and trying to see if any. There were two of them, so I'm not sure where the other one is, but I'm kind of keeping an eye on the smaller building to see if, I see activity or anything like that.
Yeah. You see as you watch the other building, give me a perception check.
You bet.
What is everybody else doing? Anybody wants to offer?
Kimber realizes his boots are probably pretty filthy. Plus, we're probably very filthy, and he's on the very little dock or pier or bridge or whatever this is called, and he's dipping the bottom of his boots into the water, trying to shake off what mud's on him before he enters their house.
Yeah. All right.
Theros is assessing the buildings. Since we seem to inadvertently or on purpose burn everything to the ground, I'm just trying to figure out how quickly these things could go up in smoke. Should we need to eliminate them?
They're definitely made of wood, so but
how soaked are they? How wet are they?
Yeah. I would say that's a history-ish check to see if you would have a good feel for what that might be. Anybody else? Well,
Laura knows that these buildings, at least one of them, will be burned down, so he's not even thinking about that. But he is looking for brewing equipment, anything that looks familiar in this room, or potions, something related to their skills. Maybe she might.
Where are you exactly then? Are you? Did you move up towards the house?
Yeah, I'm as close to Fleegan as you can.
Can you move your token?
Sure.
Are you able to move your token, or do I need to move it for you? All right.
Did we lose him?
No, he's jumping around.
I had to cough, so I muted myself and moved the token.
And I moved back. We saw it move and then move back.
Okay, so Fleegan, as you're talking to her, you notice that she's seeming very shifty. Like she's constantly peering out the door, looking around, looking back at you, looking around. She's definitely not comfortable with the situation. Kenna, you see what seems to be the unmistakable movement of somebody or something in the other building as you're watching it, because it just, there's light in the window and you see shadows going across the window panes, but you don't specifically see somebody in there, but you're pretty darn convinced that there's somebody doing something inside there.
Okay, I'm gonna just
something going on in there. So
I will casually have my bow just like sitting on the boat next to me, and I'll be ready to fire an arrow if something goes pear-shaped.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, what do you do then, Fleegan, after this?
You got some really good tea here, and I really like what you did with the place. It's it's not often I get to see inside of another gnome's house. I'm always on the road, and it's so pretty. And I'll go over and I'll just start poking around and looking at various different things. While I'm talking to her, say, "Look at this picture,"
She
pick up a porcelain whatever. It's like, what does this say? This is really, really nice, and just kind of make my way around the different various areas. And
Sure.
Is Findy here? Is Findy here? I'd love to talk to him too.
So as you wander around the house, it reveals a rather comfortable home filled with small furniture, obviously. On the north side stands a kitchen with a miniature table. That's of course where she was going to get the stuff that she needed to make the tea. And then there's some chairs nearby, and on the other side of the room are two child-sized, overstuffed chairs set by the fireplace with a round end table between them. And in the back, behind a set of open curtains, stands a little unmade bed, and a thick but somewhat threadbare rug lies on the floor beneath the chairs. And
Boy, do I feel
she
like
kind
I'm
of
imposing.
she kind of watches you in a little bit disbelief of somebody just walking into her house, just kind of walking around, looking at things. But she composes herself a bit, and she says, "Oh well, I'm so happy that you are enjoying the tea. It's kind of one of my special recipes that there's some special roots and other things that I used to be able to make it, but I'm just still not quite sure why you would come out to visit at night. You said something about giving me an idea for making a potion that would color somebody's nose hairs, but I is there something that? Oh, that's right. You asked me about where Friendy is. Well, he's over in the lab working on some things. Did we? Were you looking for him? Is that why you came out?
Just like seeing both of you guys, I think I love what you do at the place, and what was that guy's name? Tanner? Not Tanner. The one that died.
Trandon.
Trandon.
Brandon.
And I don't know if you heard, but we went on and we were fishing, and we went by this hut and went in and found a guy. Tanner says, Trandon, he passed away. I was worried about you guys. I don't know if you've heard. Living out here all by yourselves and being, gnomes that, we're easily picked on, especially by, big calf ogres. So I was really worried about you.
When you say that Trendon, died and that you were worried about him, I mean, the look of shock on her face is very apparent. What do you mean? I didn't associate with him much, but he dead?
Yeah, we were in there and it. Well, I hate to say, I don't want to offend your sensibilities as I pick up a roll and start eating it. It was pretty gruesome. There was blood everywhere. It was hard to recognize him. I mean, Tanner barely knew him, and it was pretty bad.
So you said blood everywhere, like he didn't have a. So it's not like he had a heart attack, or it's somebody killed him.
Oh yeah. I mean, pieces over here and pieces over there and pieces over here.
Oh my god! No, okay. You don't have to go into the gruesome detail of all of that. The Shern and Feinsel. I mean, they killed Doc, and they've been on the run. I mean, if they've done that, then they must be on a serial killing streak or something. I need to tell Friendy. We need to find out.
I'm not entirely sure it was those two.
Well, no. Who could it be? And I mean, everybody knows that they killed Doc.
Did they walk around with a gang of hooligans? Because you know what happened?
Sherna and Feinsel?
Yeah.
No. I mean, no.
Yeah, I think we better go get Frendel and give him the news because this is pretty serious stuff.
Well, he's over in the lab. If you want to join me, we can go over and check out the lab.
Yeah, we better do that.
All right.
While they were talking, was there a fishing pole sitting out here? Because I kind of was upset. I never was able to catch anything.
Um. Uh. Sure. Why not?
All right, so I may be trying to figure out how to use it right now when they come out.
Okay. Give me a nature check. All right. So you going with her there, Fleegan?
Yep.
All right. Well, she goes on over here. Opens up the door. Okay. There. Come on. There we go. Okay. Door over. All right. It's on inside the shack there. Friendy. She disappears from sight as she walks in. I guess you come up close, but she comes in and you see her. She's standing there, and she's standing in the midst of um, what appears to be a crude alchemist laboratory. You see that there are shelves lined with jars that contain more than a few reagents, herbs, and other unusual components. There's a pair of short tables that sit in the center of the room that are stained and covered with bottles and beakers and other containers. An oil burner rests on a stool next to the table in the south, and a fireplace burns in a low fire, above which hangs an iron cauldron that bubbles slightly. And there's that acrid, pungent smell that you were smelling when you kind of went up to the house. It got very strong when she opened the door, and you can tell that that smell is coming from that cauldron. And you see her standing over there next to her husband, chatting in very quiet tones that you can't make out. And
A question.
Yeah.
Is the furniture that we've seen shortened the same odd way that it was at the Landry house in the attic? Or is it just like children's, like normal furniture? I think you had described it as being shortened in like a different kind of way.
Was this stuff purposefully built for gnomes, or was it modified? Is what I think he's asked me.
Yeah, it's. I guess taking a look at that, if you're looking closely, it feels as if it was purposely made for their specific size. Yes.
It's different than what we saw in the attic at the Landry house, then, right?
That was very similar. Yeah, very similar to what you saw there. Some size and function for sure.
But no other matching furniture or anything, like, took a couple of their chairs or they brought this from the Landry house or anything like that.
It doesn't look like anything here was modified from something bigger to be functional for them that you can tell. I mean, if your suspicion might say that, because it takes work to make tables and it's not hard to make a low table by cutting legs off, that could be done. But as far as the chairs and things like that, they obviously were made for somebody smaller, because it's kind of hard to modify a big chair to make it a small chair. Or the bed, for that matter, if you happen to look inside there, that kind of stuff. The round table is smaller, shorter, and those kind of things. I mean, it could have been an end table for all you know, but so All right, what do you guys do?
I'm going to come on all the way in.
Okay.
And are the sides of the building are wood, right? They're not brick.
Yes. Yeah. Wood. Yeah.
Super flammable.
Uber flammable.
I'm thinking, somebody who's bigger than me can do the whole Kool-Aid Man thing if they need to.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ho ho ho.
Chicka pow pow.
And I'll wave to Gror to come inside. And
Grow will follow.
The floor in this place is made of stone blocks. But
And the tables are full of beakers and stuff.
oh yeah. This is obviously an alchemy laboratory. They put things together.
Not as much brewing as alchemy, so it's not really super familiar to me.
It's more alchemy than brew. Though it's the same function. But they're not distilling spirits and things like that. They're brewing potions.
So, yeah, it's a tragic thing. It's really awful, It's
Yeah, Friendly looks up to you and he says, "Oh, my friend, it is quite unexpected that you would come to visit. As you can see, we have various wares here that we've put together. Is there something that I can interest you in? I do feel that you have given my wife a bit of a fright. She said that you were speaking in very graphic terms of what amounts to be a murder, and we have some individuals in this town who are definitely accused and wanted for murder. I knowing them, I'm sure that they were the ones involved, and if it's starting to get around and they're going from home to home out here and murdering, and I have much to fear as well. I do not know why somebody would do these kind of things, but I fear as if we must hunker down and lock ourselves in. It is getting late. I wonder if you all should be returning to town and not wanting to be around if there are murders about as well. But if there's something we can get for you, we'll do that. But after this, I probably must be unhospitable at the most, and ask you all to finish your business here and make your way back.
As you know, I'm very pro gnome, and I really was worried about your guys' condition. But yeah, we also discovered another disturbing thought side thing. We were out visiting the and of course I can't remember the name because it's been forever.
Landry House?
The Landry House, yes.
Yep.
The Landrys.
Yes, we were out at the Landry House, and we went inside. By the way, it burned down. I'm sorry to say, but the we found a secret area, and there were gnome-sized seats.
He raises one eyebrow at you.
There also seemed to be a lot of unsavory objects around. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you? And I'll lean against the table that's right here.
Hey, Casey, when he's saying that, I'm going to move around the back of the house, just kind of keep an eye, make sure they don't try to make a break for it or something.
Okay. All right. Kimber, are you trying to fish?
Huh, I typed it and it didn't come up. Yeah, gone fishing.
Yeah, gone fishing. You see some fish jumping around, but you're not quite exactly sure how to catch this kind of fish. But it's a good distraction. Friendly looks at you. He raises an eyebrow, and he gets a very peculiar look on his face, as if he's thinking.
And I'll start getting real serious with my voice at this point too.
So, as I had mentioned before, good sir, I do appreciate having a conversation with one of our own kind, but I am concerned about the situation that's going on around this swamp. And I do fear for myself and my wife and really all of you being out here, because it is quite a distance back to town at this point. I do think that if you really have no interest, as you don't seem to, as you've not asked for anything of any of our wares or making anything for you, I think it is appropriate that you might make haste, because we need to close up for the night and think shelter in place, as it were. So, is there anything that I can get or make for you? I think the tales that you are spinning and the things that you are saying have upset my wife more than I think you realize. I think we've been quite hospitable and kind at this point, and I am afraid I must insist that you either make decisions on what is needed here, or our hospitality is quickly coming to a close, if you would. So.
I said good day.
Yes, with that attitude.
Trendon was a friend of mine. That sounds like a song, don't it?
Yeah. Probably involving a bullfrog and some wine or something.
Yeah, probably. Well, so, yeah, I think not. I like to think all gnomes are good and honest people, and I think the world's not quite that black and white. We need answers. I don't know if I can trust you.
But I'm not sure what kind of answers you need from me, and obviously there's a bit more going on here than we all happen to realize. And a statement there about not trusting us makes me wonder if I can trust you in any way, good sir. So I think at this point it sounds like we've come to an impasse, and you are, really, not welcome at this point. And I think I must ask you kindly to return from whence you've came. We are done here, sir. And he grabs his wife by the hand and starts to attempt to lead her around the table and towards the door. What do you guys do?
Aurora wants to say something.
Roar can say something.
He'll move towards Fleegan to be in front of the door. He'll say, "This does not seem like the famous gnome hospitality I have heard of. This swamp is quite dangerous, legendary in its danger, and you would put us out in the dark when it's already past twilight? So far from the town."
It is not, sir. It is not. Trying to think of how to say this. I don't appreciate that you are attempting to put the fact that you guys came here near night time of your own accord, and then are attempting to place blame on us for not being hospitable while bringing stories of dangers and such in this place. So I would say that I'm not comfortable with you, and that I kindly ask you to move, as I may return to my home and shelter ourselves, and ask you all to leave.
And
So
Glor
please,
says,
if you would, step out of the way.
"I'm not sure you understood, my friend. You're very worried for your safety because our other friend, we had just recently met, the same day as we met you, have been murdered. We wish to come and protect you."
Yes, but the inference of what he was saying and the tone and the questions that he asked made it sound as if we may know something about these things, of which we do not. So I ask you one more time before things might continue to become, or might ultimately become uncomfortable for you, that you please move out of the way, sir.
And he says, "And good sir, in the name of great hospitality, wouldn't you consider it possible that you know something, but you're not aware of it?" And
Well,
then
let's stop beating around the bush, people. We're here about the Brewers. We know you're associated. I'm walking right in. We know you're associated. We need to know where they are.
You met the butchers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they're the
Yes.
Brewers.
Yes.
Yeah,
sorry.
I know. Some of these
Butchers.
terms tend to get kind of muddled, so yes.
It's not like they're very
Butchers.
similar in name.
Well,
Yes.
the
Yes.
those that
Your associates that you were conferring with in that secret room in the Landry's house that is no longer there. We know you're
I have
associated.
no knowledge of what you're talking about, secret rooms, other than what this your friend here just mentioned, a secret room and being associates with the butchers. Well, I know the butcher clan is nearby, and I do not like who they are and what they do in this town. They do tend to give us a measure of protection, as it were. So,
Well, we
if you
have-
consider us living in the same area as associates and enjoying some sense of security, and even though their deeds may be somewhat dubious, I do not think that they and us would be considered partners in a crime of things such as murder.
Well, we know that they're involved with it, and we need to know where they are. We know you know where they are. You're going to assist us now.
Since Ken has said everything, Roy will take out the mask again and he'll say, "You know anything about these masks?" Does he have a reaction?
Give me an insight check. You don't notice a reaction from him other than his eyes shift to look at the mask and look back at you in the eye as you're speaking, and then turns back to regard Kenna. He doesn't respond to Groar's statement. Kenna,
Mm-hmm.
he mutters something unintelligible and says, "I do not take kindly to individuals coming into our home and bossing us around. And unless you want things to get ugly, I do suggest that we leave it as it is and we move on. You mentioned we're in league with something that doesn't make any sense to me, and I think it's time for you all to leave."
Certainly. We will leave as soon as you tell us where we can find the Butcher Clan.
Well, of course. And he whips out a map of the swamp and draws where their compound is. Says, "Here, is that the information that you seek?"
Is he telling the truth?
Give me an insight check.
Nope.
You
Groar
have no
help with
idea
that?
if he's telling the truth or not.
We help with
Groar
the
already did an insight. Groar already did an insight check about something else. In this spread of things. So,
Does this map look like someplace we've been that they're marking, or is it someplace we haven't been yet?
it's decently understandable. Marks the town, marks the church, marks their house. You kind of see a line of how all of those things happen, and kind of the way that you've traveled, and it shows that it's off to the east a ways in the swamp. Probably 2 to 3 times the distance between their place and town, so it would take you some time to get there.
Okay.
But now, I've given you what you've wanted, and I will say that though they provide us a measure of, shall we say, justice in this town, I wouldn't say that I'm a fan of the family. So if there's something you're going to do to help us with that, then, I mean, I wouldn't say that I would argue, but I do feel like we've gotten off on the wrong foot, and
Agreed.
But your hospitality at this late hour would be more than enough to repair that. We'd be happy to help with any chores you may have. Make that friendly gesture.
I'm sorry, but
I
considering the
look at Roy like,
conversation that we've had, I'm sure that the concept of hospitality has since departed. So
I would have to agree with you on that, good sir.
I would request that you all likewise depart, and if I can make somewhat of amends of a tone that may have arisen between all of us, my recommendation is to return to town before it gets too late, because you don't know what kind of things might happen to you as you travel through this place late at night.
Does that seem like a threat, or does that seem like him legitimately saying that we should return to
I don't
town?
know. What does it seem like to you?
Sounded like a threat to me.
Yeah, well, we're going to find these butchers. And
as long as you have no
lied to us.
association.
Yeah, if you lied to us, we'll be back. And you won't like it. You won't like it when I'm mad.
When did Fleegan turn into a bully?
I know. 2 foot tall
right.
bully.
You won't like it when I'm mad.
As long as you have
somebody in this town named Zephyrin, sure, who might like you.
As long as you have no association with them and there's no proof that you have done anything against the town or any of its people, then you have nothing to fear from us.
Well, I certainly hope not. So, if you would all kindly step out of the way so that I may take my wife to our home, I would kindly appreciate that. And
of course,
bid you all adieu.
I step out the door and, motion for Fleegan and Gror to do so as well.
You guys let them go by. Fleegan, did you let him go by?
Yeah, I'll let him go by. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. All right. They don't say anything else. They just hurriedly walk hand in hand as he leads her into their house. Quickly slam the door shut, and you hear bolts and other things latch.
Furniture sliding into.
As they went by Kimber, and he wasn't really part of all that, he just kind of turns and gives him a legit smile and nods his head at him, and notices all that, and he's like, "What happened?" He wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, they don't really acknowledge you standing there with their fishing pole, fishing in the bog.
Also, didn't make us exit or lock the workshop.
Nope, they just walked right on by.
Look in the workshop for any sign of butcher stuff. Emblems that we've seen, for anything that we're aware of.
Be careful for traps.
Give me an investigation check, please.
Fleegan, want to help look around?
Sure.
Okay, I could use some help. Let's look.
Okay. All right, you're looking around for any signs of butcher paraphernalia, looking for that symbol, looking for
a note that says we're butcher members.
Yeah, I mean, really any clear
membership
indication
cards.
that they would be in league with the gang.
An order sheet or a contract, even maybe. Could be anything in here.
Yeah. You yeah, you don't see anything obvious. And it's obviously they avoided the questions.
Mm-hmm.
And indignantly basically told you to get out of their way. and they were quite disturbed by the information you had given them about Trendon. But nothing really seems out of the ordinary in their laboratory here. Make you feel like something is amiss.
Okay.
Outside of something you see, I guess where I'm trying to go with this is you're looking for signs of them being in league with the butchers, and you're focused on that so much so that you kind of almost do a double take when you see what appears to be a finger sitting on one of the tables, partially covered by some cloth and some things like that.
Is it a zombie finger?
Did you say a finger?
A finger, yes.
Is it a human finger, or can we detect the likely race?
Give me a medicine check. So you look specifically at the finger. Huh?
That's my first question, because that's what you said I saw.
Yeah. So yeah, give me a medicine check.
What does it look like they had been doing with the finger?
Well, that's unclear. It's just the fact that there is a partially decomposed finger sitting on a table, which seems oddly out of place.
Did you say investigation, Casey?
Medicine.
No, medicine.
Okay. Hang on, I think I can use my abilities for that. Hold on, I got a cough.
Make sure you turn your head to the side when you cough.
Oh. Does the finger look like it was purposefully severed, or?
Yeah, is it a zombie finger?
I don't know if I can answer that for Kenna. I mean, Igor's the one looking at it. He's the one who found it, so he had gone back outside. So
I don't think I have medicine, if I'm not mistaken, but
you do. Everybody does.
The voices that guide me would give it to me.
Well, everybody has medicine. It's one of the core skills. I mean, it's everybody. It's just some people are good at it and some people aren't. So.
I've saved a few people's lives. Maybe it'll help.
You did. You saved mine.
Like the zombies took it 4 or 5 times.
You're trying to understand if it's a human finger or not, and in its decomposed state, it's hard to tell. But it's definitely, it's it was probably severed at the middle knuckle there, and it's unmistakably a finger with a fingernail on it, but you're unclear on if it's human or not. But
what was covering it?
Just some rags and a couple of other things. I mean, it was.
Are they bloody? Oh
no.
Is there a container that this might have been in? Does it look like that rag was probably rolled up and might have held it, or is there an implement that somebody would have cut something with?
You look around, and I mean, there could be some of the tools and stuff that they have could be used to cut that off. But again, you're going down the road of thinking, well, is there blood? And you're not really seeing anything that's bloody. The rag isn't bloody. Just this odd
partially decomposed. So yeah, probably doesn't have any blood left in it.
I was just thinking if they had cut the finger off, it might have had blood from then, though. Like it could have been the rag the whole time.
Oh, sure, no, and I think you're on the right track thinking about if there's blood. So it's a little weird for you to
Point that out
you're
then
seeing this
to
there, and there is
Kenna.
no blood. What's that?
Point it out to Kenna and Kimber. See what they want to think about it, or maybe they have an ability that could help.
Kenna or Kimber, any thoughts? He
I
shows
think
you the
so.
finger.
Real quick.
Yeah, Kimber put the fishing pole down after seeing them rush into their house and lock it all up. And he's looking over towards Kenna and Theros, wondering if they have any question. Kind of shrugs and puts his arms up, like, "What happened?" And if he doesn't get anything from them, then he's going to head inside.
Why don't we take a look and see if there's any stones in the floor that might be loose? Theros will look.
I'm gonna actually let them continue to investigate, but I'm gonna keep an eye on the gnome's house just to see if they are doing anything suspicious or pulling out a crossbow and trying to shoot us in the back, or anything like that.
Sure.
The little things.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
So
help Theros and look at the floor as well, and under the tables, etc.
Kimber and Theros, do you guys go inside?
Yeah, I'll go inside.
If he's going inside, then I'm going to get in the boat with our guide, because if we lose him, we're going to really be lost out here.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and give me a Theros or Fleegan or Roar. I guess Theros, because he's the one who said it. Go ahead and give me what is that called? Perception
Investigation?
check.
Perception?
Perception, because you're digging around the stones, trying to determine if there's
15.
something hidden or something like that. Yeah. No, actually, you don't really find any stones that are loose or a secret niche in the floor or anything like that. But as you're doing that, you hear a yell from outside. Do something here real quick. You hear a yell from outside. Now, outside Kimber, Kenna, you guys realize that it suddenly got real quiet. You know how I was mentioning that the sounds of the bog were kind of loud and getting louder as it got darker and things like that. And it almost feels like all of a sudden everything just you recognize it wasn't sudden, but it was somewhat gradual. It's much quieter, and the area around you seems to just get darker, and you hear what sounds like the sound of a whip not too far from you.
Okay.
And
I do have dark vision, and I'm scanning the direction that I heard the scream and the whip crack from.
Yeah, just to the side of the house over here is where the sound comes from.
From where? I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
You get the unmistakable whiff of rot, just rotten, putrid decomposition.
Mm-hmm.
That nauseating smell of dead mouse.
So Fleegan's breath in the morning. Got it.
Yeah, got it, and everything like that. Kimber, you feel something lash around you.
Uh-oh.
Before you see it, and it It's kind of somewhat associated with that crack. You're going to take 5 bludgeoning damage, and I need you to make a strength saving throw, please.
And did I scream?
I don't know, did you?
Oh
Only
yeah.
for ice cream.
Oh yeah.
I scream, you scream, we all
Thought I
scream.
was-
I scream.
Thought I was the one fishing. What'd you say to roll again?
Strength saving throw, please.
Did something go over Billy's head? Or is it between Billy and?
No, other direction.
With advantage,
No, it
right?
came from this direction.
Well, isn't
Not
there a
with
ball in
advantage.
there?
Okay. Something, a tendril of some sort or another wraps around you, Kimber, and pulls you 10 feet this direction. And Kenna, you see him basically retract that direction, and you notice mists and shadow kind of swirling in that area. And a darkish shadow in that area, and the stench is definitely coming from that area, and you see Kimber disappear into the shadow.
I fire at the shadow before he gets all the way through.
Okay. Kimber,
Ah!
Kimber, you
Guys,
take
out here.
7 points. You take 7 points of necrotic damage
Oh.
as you are consumed by something. Okay. Kenna, I'm going to go ahead and give you your shot.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and take a shot, whatever that is. A 23. Wow. That's a nice shot.
7 points of piercing.
Okay.
Guys, get out here now! It's got Quimber!
Bob. It's got Bob.
Oh, Kenna doesn't remember that right now. She just says exactly what I said.
Okay. So yeah, as you shoot this thing, did you shoot it with an arrow? Or did you shoot it with a
Oh,
striking arrow? Okay, yeah, I shot it with an arrow. It impacts upon this thing that looks like it's made of mist and shadow, and the best I can describe it is, and it's not as big, but imagine the Balrog that we saw from the Lord of the Rings movies, but
jeez.
dark, not made of fire, and with glowing purple eyes. And
Did it react to the arrow?
you definitely saw it kind of get knocked back from where it kind of hit it in its shoulder at that point, but it definitely engulfed Kimber in that he's been subsumed by this thing.
Oh, great. Just like the big toad that swallowed, or turtle that swallowed Fleegan.
All right, so
What an experience that was.
everybody go ahead and roll me some initiative.
Make sure to click on your token first.
And you hear Tanner call out, "Oh, it's the Wakabago."
Wakahoa?
About a
It's the
wackabago.
what?
Oh, darn you, Kenna.
What are we missing? We got Brewer. Okay, good job. All right, let's change this. Okay, it's up here. Okay, Kenna, you get an action. What are you doing?
I am going to cast Chromatic Orb on the thing, and I am going to cast it as lightning? Radiance. We'll go with Radiance.
radiant damage. Okay.
I miss.
And blast your foot.
Yeah, right. Uh-oh, that is
All right.
Oh, God.
The intensity of the initial encounter has you a bit unnerved, and your reaction that Cray had taught you drilled into you allowed you to be able to quickly, flip and take a shot at this thing, and then you fumble around to be able to, call upon the training of your mother to create that chromatic orb, and you falter in your speech. I think there's a verbal component to it. I can't remember.
Yes.
If it's not.
Yes, there is.
You falter in your speech to be able to call out the command words to make that function, and your tongue is twisted and twizzled by that. You're not going to be able to, it's befuddled you. You're not going to be able to cast anything for the next 2 rounds. Okay?
Oh, dear Lord. Okay. Yep. No, I get it. It's all good.
So there's that. Okay.
I'm choking on a magic orb.
Yeah. So, all right, Fleegan, you hear the scream from Kimber come from outside, and you smell a stench, and you hear a commotion. And I don't know, Kenna, did you say something? Remind me. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I yelled, "Guys, out here now!"
Okay,
It's got
all right.
Glimber.
Okay, Fleegan, what do you do?
I'm going to reach over, grab the nearest bottle on this table. Actually, I'm going to grab 2 of them. Come run outside. See this thing here. And are these bottles marked by any chance?
They have symbols on them, but you have no idea what the symbols mean.
So I don't recognize the symbols?
No.
Sorry, Climber. I'm going to throw a bottle at the monster.
He yells, "I don't know what I'm doing," and throws the bottle.
Take
Okay.
that, you evil whatever, waka hapa hama yamba.
Okay. I like that. Let me go grab something here.
Is this going to be with or without proficiency?
Throwing.
Without. Well, throwing a bottle. I don't know. Give me a history check. See if you've learned how to throw a bottle before.
I know how to throw back
Yes.
a bottle.
He can throw the
knows how to
horse
throw
you
all
do.
8 that he's juggling at the same time.
I like that natural 20. Okay.
You can throw the whole keg.
Yes, I not only know how to throw a bottle, I can throw it while I'm juggling. I like that.
Okay.
Pulls out a couple bat daggers and the bottles. He's
That's certainly probably
Okay.
something you used in one of your
So-
tricks.
I'm going to roll this for you just because it's going to be easy enough. You hit that thing with a bottle of it was green, and you're like, green might hurt something, and it splashes on it and kind of burns and sizzles as it does a decent amount of damage to the thing actually, and it kind of recoils from that. But yes, you hit it with something that hurt it for sure. So.
take that, waka hanka yaka
All right. Anything else?
Winnebago. Take that, Winnebago.
Take that, you Airstream.
As a second action, do these count as finesse weapons? Can I
No.
throw the other bottle, please?
No. And even
then I'm-
if it was, again, the knowledge of, although a natural 20 is not a bad idea, but no.
Okay,
go with
well, I tried,
Anything
guys.
else?
That's it.
All good.
No, I think it was a I think that was a masterful way of grabbing things.
Hilariously
All right, it's
brilliant.
Yes, quite.
I got another
Um,
bottle for next turn.
Yeah,
So,
Kimber's laughing right now.
like I was trying to get you to envision things. You know how the Balrog, of course, the monsters in movies have to flip their head towards everything, and the first thing they do is they let out this, or ear-shattering roar, and the screen shakes, and the
Mm-hmm.
the air kind of shimmers and everything like that. Well, this thing looks at you and lets out this roar, but it just kind of sprays you all with this cloud of horrid stench that's just disgustingly nauseating. So I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, and that's going to be Kenna and Fleegan and Billy and Tanner. So I guess I'll take care of Tanner here.
Okay, now
Right. Kenna has a stomach of steel.
For Fleegan, can I burn one of my gooey rewards?
Yeah, you can.
Is this a poison effect?
Yes, it is.
Then I'm going to use laughter in the face of danger, which means that he gets advantage on the save versus poison.
Okay. All right. So Fleegan, you burned a gooey reward. Let me go ahead and get in and take care of that. Fleegan, you can go ahead and roll again. Let me go get that gooey reward.
Well, better this time.
Better.
Done. All right. Fleegan, you feel like you're going to be sick, and Kenna puts her hand in. She must have learned from somebody in the troop a pressure point that helps right on the base of the wrist, just about 2 finger lengths down. There's a pressure point. She immediately reaches out and pushes her thumb right into that point on your wrist, and you feel yourself about ready to retch, and
and instead it comes dribbling out as laughter.
Yeah. So yeah, that works. I like that. That works. But Tanner, unfortunately, just basically throws up everything that he had eaten for lunch or breakfast or dinner or something like that, and immediately passes out in the bottom of the boat, having tossed all of his cookies, plus gotten sickeningly poisoned. So he is unconscious at this point. And then Billy, somebody got
hide behind Kenna. He's smaller than her.
He is, but this is anything within a 15-foot cone. So basically, he got sprayed too with this cloud of stench. So I need somebody to roll a Constitution save for what's his ugly Billy. Somebody, anybody?
Get into it.
I'm on a laptop, so I have very limited screen space, so I can't bring it up. There we go.
No. Oh.
Billy's down.
Yeah.
Not
poor Billy.
Billy.
Oh, poor Billy. All right. So Billy. No, Billy doesn't go down. You know what? Billy's not looking very good, and you've never seen a goat throw up before. It's quite disturbing, actually.
I can imagine.
As he's,
Now.
Imagine the cat.
Oh, yeah. No, yep.
Seen
that
10
before.
times louder and about 5 times worse. It's pretty disturbing to watch. but
have
he's
a
also
snack
an
here,
animal. He's an animal that's
Yep.
used to more natural things and stuff like that, so he doesn't take severely to the stenches the rest of you. He's definitely in a bad state right now. All
So
right.
he's a goat. He should probably be eating it up.
Yeah, you would think. That's why he's not dead yet. But this thing also happens to move over, and it's going to attempt to bite Fleegan, and is not going to be successful, and then it's going to rake its claw at big nasty claw at Kenna and fumble.
Yes.
Really?
Didn't see your roll, but
I know you can't see the rolls. I don't want you to see these rolls.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
So it attempts to go after Kenna, but is unable to slash her with the claw, and somehow moves in a strange or awkward way to where it leaves Kimber unsubsumed because of that. So Kimber kind of pops out the backside.
Oh, whoa.
That's the
One direction to
poison,
be coming out,
man.
man.
The poison did that. It
I've
was
been
all the bottle.
I've been reborn.
But you're a bit disoriented, which is interesting because it's your turn.
I knew you were a little.
You also happen to notice that the arrow that you shot it with was sticking out of it, and all of a sudden the arrow just kind of dissolves inside of it, and whatever wound that it had from the arrow kind of heals itself back over.
Oh, hell no.
Okay, Kimber, you're up.
Can I actually do anything?
Yes, you can. You can do it with disadvantage because of your discombobulation. But whatever you're going to do, you'll do with disadvantage.
And radiant or guiding bolt does require an attack.
Yeah, it does.
I lost her.
You know what? Kismi is with me. I'm gonna strike this thing. I don't care if it's got its back to me, and I'm retching over here. I'm gonna muster the strength to speak the words and hit it with my guiding bolt.
But Tanner's dying in the bottom of the boat.
Wait, what?
And you're the healer.
I missed something here?
Tanner is in the bottom of the boat. He failed his poison save and threw his guts up.
Oh.
And I can't cast for 2 turns.
I could do...
Save the Tanner!
I could still cast a healing word also.
Yes.
You can't cast 2 spells in the same round.
Oh, yeah, so you can't do the cantrip. Alright.
Yeah, one has to be a cantrip, yeah.
Oh yeah, healing word's not a cantrip. What am I thinking?
No.
No, it's just a bonus action.
Oh shoot.
Save the Tanner!
Alright. Got to save Tanner, yes.
Because we might need leather later. Oh wait, wrong Tanner.
Well, how am I supposed to get to him? I need a range. So healing word it is still. Alright, well, I'll still swing with Homesteader, because I know I'm going to hit. I just asked Kismia for help.
There you go.
Ask Kismia for help, but unfortunately, it's...
Hey, there's 7s, okay? 7s are good.
Is there anything you can do to mitigate that? You got to go reward or anything, because you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that heal off.
I will use Kismia's the ability. Kismia.
Oh, the luck.
Once per long rest, when you roll a 1 on an attack roll, ability check or saving throw, you can re-roll the die and choose which to use.
No.
Well, you got to roll it again.
I
Okay,
have not
with
used that
disadvantage
this
this
whole
time.
game.
Yep.
You can't. Yeah. So you got your luck. but you miss with your
Not a
mace.
fumble.
Yeah. So yeah, you go to take a swing, and you stood up after kind of coming out of this thing, and you weren't quite sure. You knew that Tanner needed your help, but it's like, okay, I'm going to ask Kismia for guidance as you pray that your mace hit true. But unfortunately, you stumble as you go to swing against him. But you feel the encouragement of Kismia from her blessing upon you allow you to be able to swing, though you still swing wide. You have the energy and the wherewithal to be able to cast that spell on Tanner.
All right.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Tanner is miraculously healed, and though he is sick in the bottom of the boat at this point, kind of laying in his own vomit, he has been healed. So good job with that. Well, that was kind of a spectacular way of doing things. Kind of rather enjoyed.
Interesting at the least. Yeah.
All right, Gror, you're inside the building with this commotion going on outside. What are you going to do?
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure the window won't help or anything. Like, I'm not seeing anything by that window near me, right?
You can see the shapes and the images of what's going on outside the window, but it's a glass window, so.
Right, and it's pretty small in the middle of the wall. So
It's
I go to the doorway. Can I lucky longbow shot past Kenna?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I go there. Are these 5 foot squares or 10 foot?
Mm-hmm. 5 foot.
Right now. Might help. Yeah. Well, I will use blue full stone. And it's 78 plus 3 points to anybody within 30 feet of the stone.
Okay. So you're going to use that stone to cast a AoE heal?
Kimber and Billy are the only ones injured, but yeah.
All right, so Kimber, you get 5 points back. Billy is healed back up to full. And no longer sick. It's amazing how quickly his constitution is regained. Of course, he's a goat.
Yeah.
So there's that. Okay. Anything else?
The goat survived a gooey cube. He's the goat.
He is the goat, isn't he? Billy the goat. I think that's
Anything else? I'll just draw the lucky longbow and get ready to shoot at it.
Decided he officially needs his name changed.
The goat. Greatest of all time.
Paging Mr. Goat, Mr. Billy the Goat.
Yes, Billy the goat. There we go. He is now officially Billy the GOAT. All right. Guess I'm a little far afield. Okay. All right. Anything else? For?
No, that's it. And I just made sure I got out of Theros' way.
Yep.
I'll take out the lucky longbow for next turn.
Okay, Theros, you're up.
All right. From my assessment of the buildings prior, with that natural 20, am I able to Kool-Aid Man the wall or not?
You might be able to if you roll a 18 or better on the die for an athletics check.
Really? Do you have a great reward that gives me a 2d4 to an acrobatics or athletics check?
Well, there you go. It sounds like a good opportunity to use it.
I like it. We're going to go through the wall right here.
All right.
All right.
So you hear from inside a booming voice say, "Oh,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Theros, man. Oh, yeah.
So you want athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics.
for you, athletics is strength, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, that's going
8
to make it
plus
tough.
what?
Earns the reward. 2d4.
You said 2d4?
Yeah, 12.
8 plus 4 is a 12.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I shouldn't have even burned it because I there's no way to do it, but
Well, it was a good choice. I like
it was a
that.
try.
I like that a lot.
Oh.
In fact, I like that so much that that gets applied to your advantage roll. So it's an 18, so I'm smashing the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so he goes smashing through the wall out the backside there next to Kember, and splinters of wood sting and slash at you, Kember. You'll take 1 point of slashing damage. In fact, Theros, you take 1 point of slashing damage as well.
It was worth it.
Smashing through the wall. But that's an action, Theros.
Yeah, I
have
assumed
any
it was.
bonus action or anything?
Other than stare at it menacingly, no.
Okay. Well, I think that works. So.
I think it has. Okay. It has its attention.
All right, Kenna, you are not poisoned, so you get to go.
All right. I'm going to pull the Sword of Speed, and since it's magical damage, I'm hoping that means it won't heal like it did from the arrow attack. So let's see what I can do. Will a 15 hit?
A 15 does hit. You're able to slash across it, and it affects it. 9 slashing damage, huh?
9 magical slashing.
9 magical slashing damage. Right. All right. It roars in frustration as you slash against the thing. Kind of hard to tell if it's pain or not, but man, this thing stinks when it roars.
And then
all right, anything else?
Because of my Blade Dancer ability, it can't take an attack of opportunity, so I'm going to step back here.
Okay. All right. Fleegan, you're up.
All right. Well, bottle number 2. Let's see what we have. And I will use a dash action to disengage. And I gotta find my character. Did you want to roll it, or shall I?
For what?
Throw in the second bottle.
Oh, you're going to throw the other bottle. Nice.
Yes, I got 2 hands.
Okay. Well, no, you rolled the attack last time, right? No, I just rolled for the damage.
No, you rolled the attack.
I thought I did something. No, what?
He rolled the history. The history, yeah.
Yeah, he rolled it. Yeah, I rolled the history to find out if you knew how to throw the ball, because you were wondering if it was something that you could do or not. So you rolled a natural 20, so I said that you hit. So go ahead and make a attack with proficiency. Yeah, a ranged attack with proficiency.
All right, I got to figure out what my proficiency
because
is.
we're getting 20s and 1s all over the place here, making this fight really even more interesting combat, than it would normally be. So.
All right. make sure I got my proficiency correct. Since I'm lazy and have the computer do it for me.
Just click on your ranged dagger.
Oof.
Where you can do that.
Do they have artwork for this monster?
Oof.
Yeah. Let me see if I have it in here. If you can see it. That is. Where is that? That's probably. I think it's going to be. There it is.
Pictures, man.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's
All right.
like a jackalope, but from hell.
Yeah.
Moose
Okay,
elope.
so let me go back to that. So Fleegan, you missed. You dash out of there and you turn and you try and throw this thing and it just slips out of your hand and goes bloop in the water.
Yep. What color was it? Purple?
Red.
Oh, it would have been a good one.
Reds are always good, right?
That's
All right. Anything else? Anything else?
Nope.
Especially for nose
That was
hair
it.
color.
All right. Well, he doesn't belch at you all this time, but his lash comes out and tries to grab at Fleegan. Oh, and it does. So this lashing appendage comes out and slashes and wraps around Fleegan. You're going to take 8 bludgeoning damage, Fleegan, and
I
you need
have
you to make.
resistance to bludgeoning damage.
You do have resistance to
Mhm.
bludgeoning damage, so you're going to take 4 bludgeoning damage, and you need to make a strength saving throw.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Fleegan gives him.
You pull
or-
back and take your low center of gravity and dig it into the ground, and your feet are kind of being dragged in the ground as it's pulling and tugging towards you to pull you into it, and it is unable to get you moved, and its lash goes retreating back into it. But it takes its gaping jackalope maw and attempts to bite Theros. Piercing, does a 17 hit Theros?
For piercing? Yes, that one does hit.
All right, you're going to take 9 piercing damage and 4 necrotic damage.
I guess it's a good thing you have
as it sinks its life-draining, disgusting teeth into your shoulder, and then it's going to slash at Kimber with its claw and miss.
Ooh.
It's not like I haven't had zombies bite me and
Yeah.
werverines and.
Not like you haven't had other diseases that we had to have cured.
Like,
you know?
This
pretty
thing
standard
seems to
operating
be
procedure.
a bit more dangerous than just your average zombie at this point. All right, Kimber, you're up.
See, I'm looking at people's hit points. Looks like I can go offensive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hit with the guiding bolt this time. Try at least.
What kind of damage is Guiding Bolt?
Radiant.
Yeah, radiant. Oh, what the?
All right. He
I don't know.
calls out to Kisnia to guide his bolt,
What do I have?
but she heard his prayer the first time, but maybe there was something that got in the way this time, and the bolt does not strike true.
Yep.
Does not strike true.
Yep,
That
I don't
reminds
have
me.
anything for it.
What was the name of that guru reward that you used, Theros?
I don't recall. It was the only one that I had.
So I have Vigilant. Sulius's Youthful Vitality is probably it.
That's probably it.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
That
That's
was
the one.
it.
His drawer has it too. That's
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah. Yep. That makes sense. Okay. All right. Anything else, Kimber?
No, I can't think of anything.
Okay. All right.
Just things
Grower,
have
you're up.
not been right since that one night.
What kind of arrows do I think would be better? I have striking arrows. I think those are the only arrows we had. Does that
I don't
seem
know.
right?
It's up to you.
Yeah, me and him had split them. I think we had 3 each.
That's what I've got written on my sheet, is still having 3. I don't think I've ever used one. Or I might have used one and you gave it back to me. So I'm going to use those in the Lucky Longbow, but I don't know if I need to roll something different or click something else other than Lucky Longbow. Use those arrows.
It does 1 additional point of piercing. That's what I've got as
Okay.
on my
So
sheet.
go ahead and shoot your bow, and if you hit it, then just add 1 point of damage to it.
Okay.
All right. That's gonna hit. Of course that is. Go ahead and roll your damage on that. All right.
Really hurt.
Magical piercing.
Or like really affected by what we've done so far.
All right. So that hits that, and it sticks in the side of it. All right. Anything else?
Does it seem pretty hurt though, or does it really seem unaffected for the most part?
You heard it with that arrow. So yeah.
Okay. Then I'm
The
going to
way that it
use...
reacted to it. It doesn't seem to be bleeding, but you're not sure that this thing is capable of bleeding.
Probably not.
use Action Surge then.
Okay.
Get another shot at it.
Okay.
I'll shoot it again with one of those arrows.
Shoot it again. So if I'm reading this right, you did 8 damage the last time.
8
That's going to hit again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 8 magical piercing for the first one and 9 magical piercing for the second one.
One's only normal roll. Do you know what that is?
What's that?
Why the last one said +1, but this one
Oh, I
doesn't?
know why. Because you're auto rolling a crit, so it was actually only going to be 7. Because
It's only going to be 7,
that's
yeah.
if you had the crit the last time. So it's 7.
Okay.
And
7 last time, 8 this time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, and again, the reaction from it is that that definitely hurt it for sure that second time as well. Okay. Anything else?
Oh, I think that's it.
I guess that is it, because that would have been 2 actions there. Okay.
Graxel.
All right,
Graxel.
Theros, you're up.
Graxel!
I'm sorry, it doesn't have 8 legs, 4 legs, 8 legs.
But a 19 hit?
Still hit it. So he takes a big
That's 14.
swipe with his axe and does 14 points of slashing damage to the thing. All right. That it didn't take very kindly to.
It did not like that at all.
Yeah, it did not like the pain that you inflicted upon that. So,
Well, bring it.
all right, Kenna, you're up.
Okay. I am going to use some of my movement to come back in, and I'm going to take a swing at it again with my sword of speed, 2-handed. Does a 21 hit?
Yes, a 21 does hit.
That is 14 points
slashing.
of magical slashing.
Yeah, so she
And
did
then-
even more damage than Graxel did. Look at that.
Yeah, and then because of that same said blade dancer ability, I'm going to jump back here because I've got enough movement to do so.
Yeah, she's dancing around between the
I'm
pier
popping in and
the
boom and back
shore
out.
in this thing. All right. Fleegan, your compatriots are tearing at a new one. What are you going to
And I'm all out of bottles.
do?
But not daggers.
You can run inside and grab another one.
That's true. And I just realized I should use sneak attack on that bottle that hit. That would have been.
You also know you have daggers too.
I got the feeling people want me to use daggers. I think there's a
pretty
whole
sure
room of bottles here.
Pretty sure you only came here to throw 2 bottles and kick ass, and you're all out of bottles.
He's all out of bottles.
I'm all out of bottles. I will run up here and stabby. And it doesn't bleed, so, well, I'll still use the serrated dagger. And does a 12 hit?
No.
All right. Well, there goes off.
So he attempts to stab it, and he is not successful.
You probably should have used a bottle.
I should have used a bottle. Why am I listening to a dwarf?
And he tries to follow up with his
Or
dagger.
you could have thrown a dagger. You know how to do that, you know.
I'd rather have a full bottle in front of me than a full frontal lobotomy.
Well, I'm sorry to say, my friends, that it's its turn again, and all of that damage that you did to it seems to have healed back up. And it's going to take its lash, and it's thoroughly focused directly on Theros, and it's going to lash out at Theros. Come on. Roll. There we go. But it must have telegraphed its movement because Theros is able to move the last second out of the way. But it does bite him again.
Ouch.
9 points of piercing damage and 6 points of necrotic damage.
Very tasty.
As that life-shriveling bite tears into you, and then he's going to try and slash you with his claw and miss. As he does that. So, Kimber, the thing that will not die, is bearing down on Theros. What do you do?
Oh.
Turn undead. No, just kidding. I don't know it's undead.
Does Tanner know how to kill this thing? Because apparently regular damage doesn't do it.
Oh, it's been taking damage. It's just...
It's healing.
It's
regenerating.
Can't regenerate if it's dead. So we need to kill it in one round before it activates again.
We did a lot of damage to it.
I know.
Outside me doing a crit and you doing a crit, I don't know how we're going to do that much damage. I know, but outside you doing a crit and me doing a crit.
Yeah.
And Fleeing doing a crit.
Gore critting too.
Gore critting.
Let's just all crit.
Yeah.
I'm going to play my
roll
reward that
20s.
says we all crit this round.
Yeah, that is a GUI reward that we all should have.
Yeah.
As the dungeon master gives you an evil sneer.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to heal Theros, but, you know, I can't just stand there healing people, so I got to swing my mace first.
I think we need to do radiant to this thing.
It's a big thing. It's easy to hit, so yeah, you smack the thing.
Does it
Crunch.
do anything? Break a bone?
6 bludgeoning damage. Well, I mean, it it definitely didn't like the damage that you inflicted upon it, for sure. It reacted to it. Again, you guys are doing damage
That
to the
is
thing.
for Theros.
Yeah.
Theros
Thank you.
gets 7 hit points back from Kimber's healing word.
Another spell gone.
I'm playing the
All
cleric in
right,
another
Brewer,
game. I
you're
cannot wait for Quimber to get mass healing word.
Brewer's up.
Sorry, I was coughing.
I have
All right. I have a place to stand, so I think I'm pretty much going to have to shoot again.
Okay. All right. That is going to miss, actually. That is going to miss as he takes a shot with his bow. It's quite uncommon for him to miss with his bow, but sometimes it just happens. Anything else?
Oh,
You rolled a 4.
I saw that. That's it, really.
Okay. All right. Then Theros, you're up.
I'm a one-trick pony.
You could rage.
He's the.
I'm
he's
out of
the
rage.
beast.
Oh,
All
shit.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, that hits.
I have raged my max today.
Got it.
7 slashing damage. All right. And then Kenna, you're up.
Magic missile. Hold on. Yep. Okay. Yep.
Magic
So
missile.
that's a grand points of 10 points of force damage.
10 points of force damage. So you pew 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 the thing, and it definitely takes that damage.
And I look at it
And
like,
it
come at me, bro.
shifts its focus towards you. What's that?
And I do the come at me, bro.
All right.
Trying to draw
All
it
right.
away.
Okay, Fleegan, you're up.
Well, you think you have magic missile, but I have magic flame missile.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
As my bonus action, run away, and then zap, zap, zap.
Mhm.
Pew, pew,
Zap.
pew.
It's got the wand of dying fire. That regenerates every day, doesn't it?
It does. But I'm running out of juice because this is the second longest day ever.
Mm.
There it is.
I know.
Well, the day's pretty well over at this point, so.
Why couldn't
Bang.
the people pick up that we needed sleep?
I have no idea why I rolled an
We were
attack
so
on there.
grouchy.
Because I rolled the wrong thing. All right. No, it did attack again. Why is it doing an attack? Oh, well.
No, click on where it says magic missile there. There you go.
1, 2, 3. Ah.
All right. So that's 9, 10, 11 fire damage.
11 fire damage.
All right. That fire damage doesn't seem to do a whole lot to him.
Mm.
All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's all my actions.
All right. It is his turn. And once again, the
Before
damage
he
he
goes.
took. What's that?
Can Billy move before he goes? He hasn't even taken a turn.
No, you would move on your turn. So if you would wanted to move, then you would let me know.
I didn't know I was playing him necessarily, but can he at least move
Billy.
behind?
Oh, I didn't hear that. You're talking about Billy. I completely forgot about Billy. Absolutely. I forgot he was there.
Just going to
So
move him out of the middle of the combat.
Okay. Yeah, you can move him wherever you want to. Yep. All right. So it seems to not regenerate this time, but it kind of changes into wisps of, I don't know how to describe it. It turns into like these wisps of flying shapes and stuff like that. Kind of decoalesces, flies over here and recoalesces, and then attempts to bite Fleegan. And hits for 7 piercing damage and 4 necrotic damage, Fleegan. And actually, I guess by rule, Theros and Kimber would get a attack of opportunity.
Oh.
You were engaged with him when it did this, so
Play whack-a-mole.
each of you can take a swing if you want. All right, the mace misses. The axe hits. 13 slashing damage. Okay. All right, and then Fleegan, it's going to slash at you with its claws and miss. And it's going to try and lash at Kenna and miss. All right. Okay, Kimber, you're up.
Wow. How do we kill this thing?
Not brute force.
It makes me think of a troll, you know, when you finish it off, if you don't burn it, it comes back.
Well, you haven't hit it with radiant damage yet. That might do something.
Has anybody? Or have we all missed?
I tried radiant with my chromatic orb, but I missed.
I guess I could use my
Fumbled, actually.
last spell for a guiding bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll do that. Let's try this again.
Have you tried to turn it?
Kiss me, be with you, man.
If it is undead, you might be able to turn it.
Oh,
Ooh.
smack.
Did that hit?
Yeah.
Kismia was with you on that. How much damage?
15 radiant.
Wow.
Ooh.
Me like you.
That
That's a
thing
good
hits
one.
it, and you're a bit trepidatious about whether or not anything is going to affect this thing, because you've tried everything you could. But you know, again, your faith has guided you into an action that seems quite effective. In fact, it hits this thing, and it hits it hard, and it reacts severely to this. So much so that you see it somewhat decoalesce into those wisps again, and kind of spin around a bit, shriek and wail, and fly off into in separate directions back into the vegetation and stuff, swamp.
Well, that was worth it.
Mm-hmm.
That was a smack.
Well, if that thing ever shows up again, we know what to do.
All right. Well, kind of an anticlimactic ending, but Kimber kind of saved the day. And you guys have, whether or not you have defeated it is unknown at this point, but you definitely scared it off. So
We need to find some place to sleep for the night.
We just don't need to
Tanner
put down.
You see Tanner kind of stirring in the bottom of the boat after what had happened, and realizes that he's in his own puddle of vomit there, and he says, "I got to take a bath."
Have an open
Like-
building you could use.
Is the
with a hole, a thorough-shaped hole in the side.
Can't prove
considering how how beat up you all are looking at this point, and like, knowing that the Wakabaga was out there, though you've obviously skidded away. It'd probably be best if I took you back on to town, and I go and get myself a bit cleaned up, and we all get some rest for the night. What would you say?
I would not be opposed to that idea. I think that's probably smart, and then we can go after the butchers tomorrow. We're going to need to hire your assistance again tomorrow, Tanner, if you don't mind.
Yeah, you guys can discuss a place and a time to meet and everything on the way back.
Yeah.
Could
So-
just stay here in the laboratory, though. I'd have to risk the dark or anything.
There's a big Pharaoh-sized hole in the side of the building. And are you sure you want this thing to come back and jump on you in the middle of the night?
No.
It'll jump on the gnomes, if not, you know.
unless
They-
it's controlled by the gnomes.
I don't think it's controlled by them, but I do
Or
think
protecting them.
that they've got enough protections by being inside. This thing doesn't seem to want to go into the buildings.
Yeah, Tanner's our guide. We need him.
So
Are there any
let's
more potion bottles that we want to grab from that room?
No, there's no reason to steal anymore from them.
Rory, you look in there and you see that it doesn't look like there's any more quote-unquote potion bottles. There's a number of reagent bottles and various things like that upon their shelves and stuff. But as far as actual brewed potions, the two that seem to be available have been used.
Recover
Good
striking arrows? Or hitting with two and missing with one?
No, both of them are gone. They hit this thing and disappeared.
The one that I missed with?
The one that you missed with kind of went through it.
So everybody picked up on. Well, I was fishing, but when you pull out the mask, the one guy kind of looked at him quickly and then acted like he didn't look at him.
Yeah, that's I noticed.
Yeah, so he
More accurately, Gror, you missed him and it went flying off into the water. You know.
They played off their innocence real good, so I'm still confused by the whole encounter.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused on it still too, but we need to get healed up and, if necessary, resupply and head back out so that we can deal with the butchers and try to save our people.
Okay. All right. So you guys talk with Tanner. He takes some convincing at that point. It's been a pretty traumatic couple of days with you all.
Yeah.
Takes some convincing, but he's come to find a respect for you all, and you know, if it means that you're going to, you know, rid the town of the bully, you know, butchers, then he's happy to help you out, and we'll meet you at. He wants some time in the morning to take care of some things that he didn't get to do today, as far as, you know, getting fishing and stuff like that, and a way to get for his family and stuff like that. So he says that he would meet you at 10 bells in the morning at the docks there.
Okay. Tanner, you be careful and take care of yourself. We don't want to have anything happen to you.
I will do my best to keep my head low. That's what he says. Okay. All right, so he takes you all back to town. Let me gather you all back up here.
We go back to the inn.
Get you all gathered up here. go back to here. Well, I'm just gonna keep these versions of you all. Take you up here, plop you here. Take here. And then we're gonna go up and grab you all here and plop you over here. All right, so we'll just. I honestly don't remember exactly what your arrangements are, but we can.
Guys, I would suggest that we actually all sleep in one room and we set a guard for the night. Well, we take turns. Just in case. Last thing we need is somebody coming in and attacking us when we're split between two rooms in the middle of the night individually.
We could always put things in the bed to make it look like we're in the bed and sleep on the floor.
Yeah, but we should still post a guard to watch each night, or for each segment of the night. Take a watch.
Okay. So you guys are going to post a guard then, and do kind of a rest rotation, so that everybody gets their time.
Yeah,
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
There's no wounds, so go first.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That sounds good. Well, I'm going to let you guys rest for the night. We'll end up giving you a long rest because you guys are able to rotate through your watch, and nothing untoward happens at the night while you're safely tucked in bed in the inn. First good night's sleep you've had in who knows how long, really. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'll tell you the truth. Although
Oh,
your
wow.
dreams are a bit disturbed by the images of the scary Wakabago, which you guys make it through. So you don't need to roll for anything. You'll get a long rest, so you get everything back, all hit points, all spell slots. Anything that regenerates after a long rest, that kind of stuff.
Right.
So that'll happen. And we have made it to day 3 of Stuck Show, the morning of day 3 of Stuck Show, and that is where we're going to pick up in our next session. So,
Ooh.
do you all have any questions?
I do not.
Did we level? The big question, did we level?
No.
I didn't think so. But you always have to ask at the end of a session, right? You know.
You can. I'm going to tell you no for a while, but you can if you want to.
You know, yeah.
Just know that
It's going to be a bit.
you'll level when I tell you to level, and you'll like it.
You'll like it, dang it.
Yeah. Okay. So that, my friends, was session 9, I guess. Thank you for that tonight. I hope that you guys had a good time.
Absolutely.
And we hope that anybody who has a chance to view this enjoyed it. And we hope your minds were opened by wonder this evening. And as always, we say all of your adventures be sticky. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Right.
Night.
Good night.